So we made it to day 12. It's been the longest 12 days ever, about 7 months now. But anyway, I got the control arms back from the powder coater. They came back perfect. I got just a satin black. So today I'm going to start by putting the cross shafts in the upper and lower control arms. I'm going to read through the instructions one more time just to make sure I'm on the right page. Pretty simple task there. Then I will install everything on the truck and push in the lower ball joint. The upper ball joint, I'll just bolt that in. Put all the steering on, bolt everything in, get these spindles on. See the other control arms there. Everything looks good, so we can start kind of buttoning this up. So it's been a long project, but time has been very valuable lately. So hopefully today we can get a lot done. So hope you guys enjoy today's video. All right, so I hit my first snag here. Of course, it happens on a Sunday when nobody's at Ride Tech. I had a couple of phone numbers of some guys I was going to try to text, but they no longer work there. So anyway, the lower shaft here has 2 sets of holes in it. It's got a wide and a narrow. The instructions say that once you use the wide, which is actually 9.5 inches center to center. Well, while I was measuring these, I decided to go ahead and measure the distance from the end of the shaft to the center of the hole. And it turns out that these are actually 1/8 of an inch offset to the right here. So the instructions actually don't mention any sort of offset like that. Before I put them on there, that will affect the caster, so I want to make sure and get them on there the right way. I don't know if these are intentionally drilled like that. Since they're not in the instructions, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm going to call them tomorrow. So I just kind of add this one loosely. I did actually press this bushing in here. This one actually just slid in. So that made putting it together a lot easier. So I'll throw a tack on that. The instructions say to tack them if you have to press them or don't have to press them in. So this one, since it's loose, I'll go ahead and throw a tack on there. So that's kind of how they're going to go together. I'm just not going to push it down until I figure out from them which direction they go on. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm going to go ahead and get the bushing, the outer casing in the other control arm, and start working on the uppers as well. So that's kind of where it's at right now. All right, so now I'm going to start working on the upper shafts. The lowers are sitting down there just kind of waiting. I'm going to talk to Ride Tech in the morning to figure out which direction an offset goes on that lower control arm shaft. So this is the upper here. I've got all the parts sitting out here. They're going to go into this control arm here. And these are pretty trick. The way this works is it gets rid of the threaded shafts on the top end, so that you can see the threads here. What it does is it just puts in just a Delrin bushing that they machine in-house. It's got an outer casing, the bushing itself, and then an inner sleeve. So what you do is you just push these sleeves right where the threaded portion is there. Put the shaft in first, and then push them both on there. And then you push the sleeve and the bushing in there, actually, and that's it. So, and then it's got some captive nuts on the end here that hold it all together. So other than that, it's more or less stock. I got the ball joint I'm going to put in there, and it bolts in right there. So that's kind of how these go together. Since I don't have a press here in my shop, I am going to run over to a buddy's house and press those in real quick. So that's kind of where we're at. I probably, unfortunately, won't be able to video that because he's running a shop out of his house. So it's pretty loud in there. He's got a lot of tools going, so won't be able to hear much. But that's kind of how they go together. So hopefully we'll get those pushed in here real quick. So I got all the control arms set up and ready to go. I decided to wait on pushing in all of the outer casings until I hear back from Ride Tech on which direction this cross shaft goes. And the bottom, figure out which way the offset goes. So I'm just going to go ahead and the way this works is I'm just going to push this outer sleeve into where the threaded portion of the cross bar went there before. So once that's in, I can put the Delrin bushing in and the inner sleeve in here, and it'll all be drawn in tight when you put the hardware on. So I got all those set up, just like I say, just waiting to hear back, make sure that those are in properly. While I was at it, I was kind of on a roll. I went ahead and put the steering box in, which, let me tell you, doing that by yourself is tough. I ended up using my handy dandy Harbor Freight stool here to set it on and actually use the hydraulics to kind of push it up and get it in the right spot. So the box is on, it's torqued down. I have not tightened up the fittings on the top yet. I'm just going to actually going to pull those back off and make sure there's no dirt and debris in there. I don't think there was, but I'm going to go ahead and try it anyway. So I got the pit motor arm there, and on the passenger side, I got the idler arm bracket torqued down. So next up is I'm going to put the drag link in and start putting all of the steering bits in so that I can, once I hear back, get those control arms on, I can start bolting them on and getting everything put back together. So that's where I'm at right now. This is probably going to unfortunately be another split video, another split week, multiple weeks in one day. I hate doing it like that, but I don't have a press. I need to go buy one, but I use one so rarely that I got a buddy who's got one that was built in like the early 1900s. It's a beast. So, but that's where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and put this drag link on real quick and start lining all the steering parts. All right, it's been a long day. I've been fighting these bushing casings all afternoon. Went over to my buddy's shop. We tried to press them in. The tool that I made ended up smashing and bending it in the press, so we kind of just waylaid in one with a rubber mallet. Got one of them in, but that's long, hard work. So at this point, I've only got two more of the casings to push in. I've got this one here, and then one on that one there. Right now I got that one soaking on penetrating oil, trying to get it to loosen up a little bit. This one I'm actually taking a little bit of Immerkoth and trying to knock down those threads just a smidge to make that fit in there a little tighter, because that one is solid. It wasn't going in with the press either. So it's kind of where we're at. It's kind of disappointing today. I don't know. There's zero information in the Ride Tech manual for this. They sell a great product, but their instructions, I'm going to be honest, are garbage. It mentions nothing about this. The pictures they show aren't even the control arms for this truck. So, but neither here nor there. Their customer support is amazing. I've talked to them once about the shafts. I figured out which way they go in there. So we got that figured out. I guess just for reference, the longer slot, which I've got it marked with a dot, goes towards the front of the vehicle, which I've got marked with a dot there as well. And what that does is it moves the control arm forward, which increases caster, which is what you want in these old cars, make them drive a little better, a little more high-speed stability. Well, it's high speed you're going to get in an old truck, but anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. Kind of disappointed today. I don't mean to rag on Ride Tech. They make an amazing product. Their customer service is amazing, but their instructions less than to be desired. So I've got the lower control arm in here on the driver's side. I had the upper in here for mock-up. Everything fits. I do have to go in and shave that little bit right there because it's interfering with the bearing, the bushing housing on that side there. So the instructions do say to do that. I just honestly forgot to do it. So right now I just kind of got it set up here. I was going to push the ball joints in, but I ran out of time today. I got to get going. It's 4th of July weekend. So it's kind of where we're at. Sorry for another disappointing video, but I'm equally as frustrated. This is not going anywhere near what I thought it was going to. So I thought I'd had the front end all bolted together and buttoned up today, but not happening. So anyway, I hope that you guys are still liking these videos and still watching these videos. Again, I apologize if they haven't been real great lately, but I promise that they're going to get better once we get this all sorted out and get these bushings pushed in, start putting this all together. And that's kind of about it for today. I was able to, I actually forgot, I was able to get the steering all in, so I don't know if you can kind of, I don't know, the flashlight. I'll grab a flashlight here real quick. I did get the steering all situated. Well, it's all hooked up there. Drag links in, idler arm, pitman arm, all that's all in. Just waiting to put the tie rods on. I have not torqued down anything on it yet. Just kind of want to make sure everything's going to go together smoothly. I got my column in there, or my collapsible column there. I did throw some paint on it because it looked terrible. There's the joint I rebuilt there. So everything's good to go. Oddly, my steering wheel, you really can't see it here. Let me think the truck is 180 degrees out. So whoever put the steering box in last time, and that would be the rag joint, it was out 180 degrees, which I'm not sure how you get that thing upside down 180 degrees, but it was. So anyway, I do appreciate you guys bearing with me. I know this has been a bit of a train wreck lately, just slow. It's kind of a lack of time on my part, and I do apologize for that. So I hope you guys keep watching, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them below, and I'd love to talk to you guys. Thanks for watching.